You know, I'm curious because there's been obviously so much coverage in the media of Arab Spring and the Egyptian uprising. And in the discussions that I've had there and here and with people involved, there's a lot of misunderstanding on both sides. I think the Egyptian media or Egyptian revolutionaries don't understand the West very well, and I don't think the West really understands what's going on there always. I mean, I'd throw this out to both of you. You know, what are the biggest misconceptions going in each direction of the Egyptians towards the Western media and Western media towards Egypt?
Actually, there's this love-hate relationship between the rebels and the Western policies in general. Like at what time, in the beginning of the revolution, when anyone in the USA said that Mubarak is a good ally or something like that, that's what keep us motivated to fight him more. That's what gave the revolution credibility. When any other foreign country says that Mubarak is a good ally. And they were thinking that they're making his picture better, but actually they were making it worse. They were helping us with saying that Mubarak is a good ally or something like that. And at the same time, we were asking, why America is not moving? Why they are not saying anything tonight? Yeah. Why Obama's not going to the public and say Mubarak is a bad guy? And it was so obvious that they are waiting for what happens so they can build their own opinion, not before, but after. That was the impression we all made. Like they are waiting to see who's winning, so they can say which side they are on, and that was really happening. And it was so obvious. Now we are grown-ups. Now we know all this stuff. You don't have to wait. We know that you are on the side that's winning. Period. Mm-hmm. You're not with the people. You're not with Mubarak. After Mubarak resigned, it's like the power of the people. And Obama says like, we saw this young, beautiful boys in the streets. They were cleaning the streets, and he was praising the revolution. And if the revolution didn't win, we would know that he would say the next day, Mubarak is a good ally, and he's helping us with the Middle East. And it was so obvious. So that's why we have this kind of love-hate relationship.
So I'd throw the same question to you, PJ, but also with the caveat that, you know, Americans like to think that wherever there's a democratic revolution, they're really responsible. The fact that this revolution was tweeted, not only televised, it shows how peripheral, in many ways, the U.S. was to what went on there.
No, just to agree with Amr, the approach that we took to Tunisia and Egypt, in some respects, mirrored the approach that the United States took in 2009 with the election in Iran, stepping back, refraining from significant comments so that whatever happened on the ground was about Iran. We didn't want to say anything that would give the regime the pretext to say, well, the great Satan is manipulating events within Iran. And what did happen afterwards, and the repression and the significant violence to put down the protests that followed a rigged election, was about Iran and not about the United States. That positioning, I think, was very successful. So we took that same cautious approach in trying to recognize that what was happening inside of Egypt was going to be created by Egyptians, and the United States was not in a position to significantly control, well, it was not in a position to influence to a great degree what was happening, and certainly could not control what was happening. Well, that contradicted a perception in the region that the United States is all powerful, that it can snap its fingers, or it does control these and propped up these repressive regimes for many, many years. And then all of a sudden, when the United States holds back and just lets the events unfold while saying it's up to the Egyptian people, then you did get criticism from some of the movements saying, you know, well, that means that why aren't you taking our side in this? And that has had an impact. Some of the public opinion polling following the revolution in Egypt, perceptions of the United States have not significantly changed at this point. And it will remain to be seen whether that will improve over time or represents a lost opportunity to use these revolutionary events to transform perceptions of the United States.
There is a question from Twitter, from someone, Red Fury, New York City. Stengel makes a great point. This is not written by anyone I know of, that radicals are growing and recruiting without technology. what role does social really play in a revolution? I think that, I mean, because we did talk about that in the beginning, I guess the question I would ask you, Amr, is what would have been the difference if there was no social media? Would the uprising in Egypt never have happened at all?
I think it would have taken much more time. And my prediction was if Gamal Mubarak, the son of Mubarak, went for election, it would have happened. So it was a matter of time. It would have happened anyways. But the social media made it a lot faster and made us a lot more convinced that we should do that. Because it just, it made everything that they say turn into a scandal. It was covering all the lies. You know, we had this famous picture of Obama and Hosni Mubarak and other leaders. They were walking in some kind of a conference, and Obama was in the front, and everyone was walking behind him. So the next day, our newspaper, the normal media, they took the same picture and did lots of Photoshop to put Mubarak in the beginning and Obama behind him, because Mubarak is the leader of the world, you know? So next day, it was on all the blogs, all the Facebook pages. Look at this picture that they faked. This is how we are right now. We are faking everything, and you are so busted. We know that you're faking it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And actually when they asked the editor of the newspaper, it was the most famous newspaper and the biggest newspaper in Egypt. He said it's just expressionist picture. What is that? It's on the front page of the newspaper. You're not doing art here, you know. You're doing news. Mm. And eventually, the next day, he was promoted and had a raise because he was doing the right thing. He's an artist. So it was all over the news. So every day was like that before the revolution. We had a 1 year of what I call everyday scandal. It was every day we're covering a lie by the social media. Every day we're knowing the statistics from, like we say, there was a famous in the same newspaper, like it was saying that Mubarak is the most lovable president in the world by his people. That was true. Mm-hmm. And it was in his birthday, and he said, it's not the day that Mubarak is born, it's the day that Egypt was born. It was kissing ass all the time. So it was, you can easily just Google and see who's the most lovable president in the world. So who are you talking to? Like now we can all read and write, by the way. So we can all use Google. So every day we were covering the lies. So that's what made it way faster, made it cover the corruption way faster. I think we should give credit to the cell phones that has cameras because they were covering everything, starting police brutality till the corrupted elections. Everything was being shot and on the end, YouTube. While in the media, you open the TV and you see this elegant guy telling how Egyptians love Mubarak, how everything is named after Mubarak's name, how everything is, we have songs by his name on TV all the time, singing to Mubarak in person. So, and in the social media, you see lots of indie artists singing songs, cursing him by his mother. So it was all this contrast that really made us angry and made us go to the streets and say, hey, we know.
Yeah, it's a challenge actually for those of us in the news business because the question is, what is news now? I mean, you could argue, in fact, that the tweets, that the Facebook updates are, in fact, that is what's news, and everything else is commentary now because that's actual action. You know, news really in this age, from conventional purveyors of news, is actually what we say rather than what's actually happening in the world.
Actually, what was happening with all of us is our parents were going into the rooms. Tell me what's happening on Twitter. They are opening the TV, but they don't believe it anymore. It was all of us had the same story all over the revolution. Our parents kept coming to us and asking us, tell me what's happening on the Twitter right now. Tell me what's happening on Facebook. Tell them on Twitter that they have to stop. I can't tell them. It's not like that. It's like I give order and they deliver. It's not like that. So it was like always, now everyone in Egypt and even the old guy you meet in the taxi, oh, this Twitter revolution that made all of this. And it was like, now it's all famous, and they don't know what is that, what is Twitter and Facebook, but they are getting curious to know.
Well, the answer to the question of what's happening on Twitter right now is actually nothing. But, but I want to thank
Actually,
our
it's
two
happening
fantastic.
back
Oh, is there
then.
something back there?
There's a
Okay.
question.
Oh, okay. We're like out of time. So one question.
So in this country, Tommy Hilfiger tried to jump on. In this country, Tommy Hilfiger famously tried to jump on the Arab Spring as an opportunity to talk about his spring collection. You know, he tweeted. Any examples of brands in Egypt that tried to take advantage of the revolution in a positive way? If so, any that succeeded in trying to sort of co-opt the revolution a little bit from a brand standpoint?
Like revolutionary underwear or something like that. Okay, so
Actually,
very quick answer, because then we
Okay.
have to.
I think you already know the answer. It happened, of course, with a big company that tried to use the revolution in a way, and people got so angry. Actually, whenever you give the credit to anyone but the people, people get so angry. Like Wael Ghunaim, we all know him. He was the founder of that page, Kulana Khaled Saeed. And whenever someone says, oh, you're the hero, you're the one who made it, he gets so angry, and everyone gets so angry. Actually, now, if I'm sitting here as a face of the revolution in Egypt, everyone gets so angry. Why you? You didn't stand in Tahrir Square more than me. So you can't steal the credit now by any means. Anyone who's gonna steal the credit will get angry at, and people will really hate him and curse him, and that's what happened with two major companies in Egypt who tried to do that.
Well, thank you so much. I think you all get a chance of how transformational social media is, and here these are two guys that are actually transforming the world. So thank you so much, and thank all of you. So.